So what you're looking at is a Case 590 Turbo Backhoe that I picked up with my buddy T at a garage sale. It was an estate sale and it was sitting out in the weeds, and offhandedly we offered if it was for sale, and they got back to us with a price, and so he and I split it. We paid $5,000 each to buy it. It's got low hours, although we don't know how many hours because none of the gauges work. And T recently bought a new house, so he needed some cash, so I paid him off his half, and now it's fully mine. And so in this video 1, I'm going to begin the restoration on it, the glass and some of the hardware and the electronics. And it's going to be an interesting series. I'm going to learn a lot about it, so stick around. And thank you for watching. And if you have any advice, please offer it up in the comment section below. Thank you. This is a Case 590 Turbo, sometime between 1992 and 95, I think. And I picked it up at a garage sale, believe it or not. Mechanically, everything works. The components, the electronic components, all don't work. We don't have lights, blinkers, fuel gauges or anything. So far, for this restoration, I put new tires on the back. And we replaced one hose right here. And you can see from the look, just this one hose is the replacement one that we put in. Everything else is original. When we took the tires off a few months ago, all the paint was still on the nuts. So it's the first time the tires were removed. Some of the repairs are just strictly cosmetic. I want to maybe put a new decal on it, paint where it needs to be painted. We're going to put new glass in all the areas that it needs new glass. Fix the mirrors, get all the lights working, get rid of all this shoddy fixer-upper stuff. The battery's been relocated in a hasty decision by the previous owner, so we're going to relocate the battery back to where it's supposed to go, get rid of all the mouse shit. Get rid of all this broken glass. Get rid of all these shoddy fixes. So you watching me here is really the first couple of hours of experience I have with this machine at all. You'll notice right here I lift up the stabilizers before I bring the arm in, which I found could literally tip the machine backwards, but thankfully it lands on the arm. You find out these things working on the job, and it is incredibly powerful. The concept of hydraulics is just mind-blowing. The amount of physical work that this object can do is just absolutely mind-blowing, and it's something I've always wanted. I never thought I could afford one. I knew I needed a used one, but even used ones were somewhere in the $30,000 range. And so when I found this one, I obviously felt that it was within my means. And this is the very first time I'm pulling a tree stump up with it, and it is just unbelievable. I mean, we played with this stump. Me and Willie were going to cut it out, and we couldn't figure out. And of course, my tripod was on a distant route, and it flipped upside down. And you see, I pull it, and it sticks, kind of stays in the ground, and then I get a second bite on it. And I don't know no, this is a different tree stump now. And I pulled it back, and then I get a second bite on it. I did the same thing with that first one. But it's just the amount of work you can do. I got 40 acres, so the amount of things I'll be able to do with this is great. I've rented them in the past, but with an operator. I never sat behind the wheel of one of these things before I bought this one. And it drives really well and runs really well. There's just a lot of other things I need to do. Again, with the electronics and stuff like that, and we'll figure that out. But it is just so much fun to be able to play. I don't know how any of you would have been able to get rid of this. If anybody has any good tips, I know you could use the wire trick from behind, but I tried razor blades, a few things. I actually put razor blades in oil to try and get, nothing was letting go. Nothing was allowing me to slip behind it. Then it occurred to me to use this machine. I never know what these things are called, the vibrating, whatever you call it, doohickey, but it worked perfect. It got rid of all the glue and cleaned up the steel perfectly. This is a simple fix, this thing. I just pried that off. This thing doesn't work. Super frustrating. The door wants to keep jamming shut on you, so getting a new one of these. Look at this crazy fix. The strap's got to come off. It's holding the battery box or something. So there's two-part window that goes here at the lower part of the left and the right side of the cab. And the glass is the same shape, but the paint is on the inside. So that's why when you get a left and a right, the paint would face into the glue. I got the wrong side not knowing, so I glued it on anyway. Eventually I'll get both correct parts. You'll see that the paint faces out, so don't comment. I know. This is the glass that I got on eBay. They were about $300 each, especially these. But they're pretty common for this tractor. Apparently these break a lot. So there's like 7 or 8 people that sell all these different types of pieces of glass. Experiment, we'll put this one in first and we'll try one of these. Now this is window adhesive, automotive window adhesive by 3M. It comes with a sealed bottom like a can of Pringles. You got to peel it off to get it to be usable. And obviously pop the tip just like you would any type of caulking. But this glue is super strong and it's super messy. It's like some chalky type of silicone something. It gets hard and very hard. Obviously stays flexible, but it gets on everything. It's really important. You need to use rubber gloves. And I don't even think I put rubber gloves on in this. The black it'll end up on your eyebrow, inside your ear, up your nose. It's just unbelievable. It's really important to wear gloves, and bring a whole bunch of gloves so you could keep pulling them off and then putting on a good clean pair of gloves. And you'll notice I had to get the tape ready because once I put it in, I didn't want it to fall out. So the tape was at the ready. So once I committed, I put the tape on, and the tape stayed on there for a few days. And it's holding incredibly strong. I'll wait till it cures and then I'll use black silicone around the edge. Maybe not. All right, I just glued in that window and that little knee window right there. And I want to glue in this window, but we got a bend here. So I'm going to dismantle this lighting, see what this looks like to try and bang that up, just so that this is out of the way of the glass. I don't think I can really bend the cab corner back into shape, but I want to just see if I can get that up and out of the way. So we'll see what we can do. Take more than that. Wow, that is heavy metal. All right, let's see what I can do. When in doubt, get the 100-pound monkey wrench. That's an old rigid. I got a few of those. I got that at a garage sale, but you have incredible lever action and just incredible strength. And I was able to move that. It's probably 1/4-inch steel. I was able to move it quite a bit. I still have a lot more work to do on it, but I got it to the point where I could put the glass in, and that was my goal. Here I am above the cab. These are all the lights that were up here. At the moment, none of these things turn on. It's most likely just some dirty fuses, but we'll get to that. But I want to straighten this edge out. Try and fix that edge. Right there. I'm not going to be able to fix that wrinkle, but I'll be able to get this up so that it's at least out of the way of the glass. So this corner light is out of the way of the glass. Got to get creative. Big gap there. I'm gonna have to fill that. The frame must be bent from that hit because the glass is touching there, but it's not touching there. But I'm just gonna have to back it and fill it. As I said, when in doubt, get the big jobber. That big, giant, rigid wrench. It probably weighs about 80 pounds, 70 pounds, I don't know. But you could see how fast I'm able to move all that metal. And then with the little vintage wrench with the flat mouth, I'm able to do more of the fine adjustables. And you get a nice twisting action too, because you could really get it to fit that sheet metal. Whatever metal that is, you might need to bend. So I love these wrenches now more than anything for bending capabilities in the blacksmith shop, and then also for stuff like this with sheet metal. I have a whole collection of sizes. Right, I had a very hard time getting these online. These are the replacement door latches for the glass. I got a replacement glass for the, I guess it would be the right side. There's no passenger side. And I got some stainless screws from Harbor Freight. I'm going to bolt this on and then bolt the one on the other side of the door in the morning. Give it a try. I found the part number in the catalog, and I was able to find the part with no description as to what machine it was for or what manufacturer, simply by the catalog part number on Amazon. This is the other side. So I'm going to take these broken bits of plastic off and install the new window. I forget how much, 200 something bucks, maybe 200 on eBay. Aaron got the correct hardware, which we're going to try and put on right now. He went to the case dealer and got the correct grommets that go in here. Let's see how it goes. So I got a 1/4 bolt that goes in the hinge, and then this rubber grommet will go through the hole in the glass, and then it'll kind of pinch like that so we don't have any direct contact with the glass. With the stainless steel screw will come through like that. Okay, after a little bit of figuring out, I realized I cannot do this alone. So the only way to do it is to put it in position and tape it in place, and then try and get at least 2 hinge holes in. Now that's taped in place, the hinge holes, I can get at least these two that are outside of the frame. Let's see if I get lucky. Seems like I'm getting lucky. Yes! Now I do the top one, and then I can open the door and do the other three. The most complicated pain in the ass of working on this thing is that it's just so awkward. There's no easy way to get on something, to step on something. Everything is a knee scrape or a fucking elbow bang. Okay. So it's little things like these grommets, finding these correct grommets, which is the biggest pain in the ass to restoring something like this. Aaron found the case dealer nearby, and we're going to be pretty good going forward. We're going to be able to find every little bit we need from the case dealer in Latham, New York. So in the parts bin from Case, we had a couple of extra grommets, the proper ones like this. So I put them here on the door handle. We're good to go on all the simple accessories. Still haven't found this piece of glass yet, and when I do, I'm going to move the battery box. So in part 2, I'm going to rebuild all this, weld the step. I might even plasma cut all new step stuff, and weld hooks on. That was a lot of work, actually, a lot more work than I thought to change the glass. So I changed the glass, I changed some of the door hardware. Still missing one piece of glass, actually two pieces. I'm missing the piece right here. And I'm missing one of these sliders, which I'm not overly concerned about. I guess when the winter comes, maybe I will be. Just a matter of finding them on eBay. And I know they come available quite a bit, so I'll be able to find them. But in the next video, or in part 2, I'm going to dig into the electrical system. I got all LED lights up here. I'm going to replace all of these. I took some of them off while I was straightening out that steel edge, and I just decided to just get LEDs. So I got them, I just have to install them. At the moment, nothing electrical works inside. Obviously it turns on, drives and runs, but none of the gauges, controls, nothing works. None of the lights turn on, but in part 2, we're going to dig into the electrical system and figure that out. In upcoming videos, I'm going to remake the steps. I'm going to fix the box on the other side and remake the step on the other side as well. This thing is incredibly complex. The amount of systems, the amount of levers, switches, bolts, nuts, everything is just unbelievable. It's like a cruise ship, the amount of things that are in here, and the amount of things that could break and the amount of things that can go wrong. But I think I got really lucky. I got a good machine that runs really well, and it's never not started, which is incredible to me. So let's take it for a ride. So this is a fun machine to have. The other day I had about a yard of number 4, the bluestone in my driveway, and I got a rake out and I started raking it. It's a yard, a pile. It's a size, maybe 2, 3 wheelbarrow size pile. And it's a lot of work. And it occurred to me that I have a backhoe. So I went down in the field and started it up, came up and just swiped the pile a few times and leveled out the rocks in just a matter of seconds. And then the other day, I tell it on the Fitz-All podcast, we had a semi-truck wrecker designed to pull semi-trucks out of the ditch, stuck in the mud in my backyard. He's taken away the TV show trailers. And I was like, oh, I got a big giant 4-wheel drive extend-a-hoe backhoe. I can pull you out of the mud. And I got it started, went up there, yanked out a 20,000 pound truck out of the mud in just a few seconds. So the power at hand is unbelievable. And it's going to be a lot of fun playing with and breaking stuff and fixing stuff with it. It's going to be fun. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any parts tips or fix-it tips, please leave them in the comments below. And be kind. It's my first time.